Hi VC, this is Bev here at Vision, and tonight I am doing a contest, and this one is in honour of GUZZ69. That's Gustavo Scafuro over in Brazil. He's been in the VC I think around 6 months on his English channel. I know he's had a channel that he's did beforehand where it was in his kind of native, is it Portuguese you speak over there? Forgive me if I'm wrong. Something like that anyway. But he did have it, but now he's got an English channel, English speaking channel, and it's GUZZ69, and he's reached he's past that. I think he's got about 117 when I'm looking here at his channel. So he's having a contest to celebrate his first 100 subscribers, and that is fantastic, because if you're not subscribed to Guz or Gustavo, you need to subscribe. He's got a huge collection. He's got loads of CDs. He used to have vinyl, but I think he, like a lot of us, got rid of some of that, and he's now slowly building up his vinyl collection again as well. But he's got a lot of rock and metal, he's into that kind of stuff, and he shows a lot of interesting bands as well, a lot of Brazilian information as well about the music scene there, and so the contest that he's drawing, his challenge is got some one of the challenges is relating to Brazil, which is his home country. I thought I was going to struggle with that the most. However, I needn't worry, because I've found 3 actually. For the first challenge, you had a choice of 5. You needed to show at least 2 out of the 5. Well, I'm going to show 3 because I've found 3. So I'll just get on with the contest just now. Congratulations on over your 100 subscribers, Gus. Well deserved. Really enjoy your channel, and your English is coming on a treat. I can follow you absolutely fine, and I enjoy watching what you have to show. So here we go. So the first, he's got 3 questions as part of the challenge, and the first one is you have to, it's called My Country, My Project and My Mind, and each question relates to these 3 things. So the first question is relating to the country, and it is show 2 items out of your collection from the list of 5 options below, and he had listed them down as, bear with me as I read it off underneath here, an album from a Brazilian band or artist, a song or an album recorded live in Brazil, an album from an international band who has a Brazilian musician, an album with a guest musician as a Brazilian, or 5 was an album with a song about Brazil in the title or the lyrics. So the 3 I'm going to show, this one, it's all CDs, and the first one I'm showing is not rock or metal. I'm showing Genesis' Invisible Touch. I think this was 1986, yes it was. And I'm showing this because the last song, track number 8, I don't know how well you'll be able to read it, is called The Brazilian. Hopefully you can make it out there. It might not be completely sharp, but it does say The Brazilian. So that is my song with Brazil in the title. Then the next one, I'm showing Iron Maiden. I was kind of hoping to maybe avoid Iron Maiden if I could, but I'm showing them. So I'm showing the Flight 666 live soundtrack album, as they call it, and the reason for that one is, as I was checking through this, there are 2 songs on here recorded in Brazil, the first song is, one of the songs is Heaven Can Wait. And that is recorded at Palmeiras Stadium in Sao Paulo, Brazil on the 2nd of March 2008. And the other one on here, let me see, where are we, is The Clairvoyant. That one is recorded live. It says filmed at now forgive me, I might get this wrong. Filmed at Pedreira Paulo Leminski / Curitiba in Brazil on the 4th of March 2008. So I apologise if I've sort of not said them correctly, but that is. So Heaven Can Wait and The Clairvoyant from this album were both recorded in places in Brazil. So that was well, that was a song or an album recorded live in Brazil. That covered that bit. And the third one is a Brazilian band or artist. I have a CD by I didn't think I did at first, but I have a CD by a Brazilian band. And this is Armored Dawn. It's a bit glary there. Armored Dawn. And this album is called Barbarians in Black. And here is the album title. Again, it's a bit thingy with the glare. Now these guys are on Frontiers. No, they're not. I do apologise. Ignore that. These guys are actually on AFM Records. So yeah, AFM Records. This album is a 2018 release, so it's just last year. Armored Dawn are a Brazilian band, and they're kind of, I would describe them as sort of power metal. That actually sound a bit similar to the European power metal, possibly even some US power metal in there as well. They don't sound, I mean, I don't know if a Brazilian rock or metal band is supposed to have a specific sound, because I think this is the first band out of Brazil I really have listened to as far as rock and metal goes. Except I know about Sepultura, and they're thrash, obviously, so they're not really my kind of style, but I know they are the biggest and most famous name to me as far as rock and metal bands go. But this band here, I just fairly recently discovered them, and I liked what I was hearing. So these guys, I would say, are kind of a bit on the power metal side. Very good stuff, solid. If you're looking for some Brazilian power metal, you wouldn't do too bad giving these guys a sample. So that's Armored Dawn and Barbarians in Black. So that covers the Brazil part. Now the second question was, you were to show an album with a song title mentioning the word mum, as in M-O-M, that's the US spelling, or mummy or mother, because M-O-M, that's the name of GUZZ's other YouTube channel. It's MOMs, which stands for Metal Open Mind, I think. Hope I've got that right, guys. So obviously it spells out the word mum. So I think I've pulled out 3 records here that will go with this one. First is Bon Jovi, Keep the Faith, from 1992. And again, you might not see this too clearly because it's small, but track 6 on here is called If I Was Your Mother. That's it there. Hopefully you can see that there. If I Was Your Mother is track 6 from Keep the Faith, so that's one. Then the next one here I found was on this album, and this is Sabaton. Heroes, Saints and Fools. These guys are a British band that kind of came out around sort of the new wave of British heavy metal kind of scene. They were sort of linked in with that. And I was just trying to recall what date this album. It's around about 1980, but this is 2018. This is a music on vinyl pressing from 2018. But get to the bit in hand. It's the lyrics, and you've got a track on here called "No More Lonely Nights," and basically it's in the first verse. And it's the fourth line of the first verse, which says, "Girls my mama, M-O-M-M-A, said I'd never meet." So I really don't know, again, how clearly that's going to be, but "Girls my mama said I'd never meet" is that there. M-O-M-M-A. So that's Sabaton. And I thought I'd pick a third one just to throw in, because I thought this is a really good one, and it's Pretty Maids, and this is their album, the reissued one from just this year, 2019, and it's the album Motherland. So obviously you've got the word mother here, and if you look at the track listing, you've got track 1 is, if you can excuse the glare again, Mother of All Lies. And there's another one, the title track, number 9, Motherland, which is on side B. So I thought that would be a pretty good one because the album title and 2 songs with the word mother. So there we have. And that takes care of the MOM part, and the third part is he asks a question: show an album from your collection that made you open your mind to other styles of music that you were not familiar with until that point. So I took a bit of time to think about this because there's quite a few different styles of music I like, and I wondered which one to go with, but I thought I would expand on the rock and metal part, and there's 2 albums that I think which made me open my mind a bit further or wider in the rock and metal categories, if you like. The first one is, this is the album responsible due to the song on here, Conquistadors. Yes, Conquistadors, it's a fancy Spanish word that is. It's the first song on side B by Running Wild. This was the first song I ever heard of Running Wild, and I came across it by accident while I was watching a video on YouTube, and it was a collection of European rock and metal bands that someone had pieced together, and this song was one of the ones in it. And I thought I really like that, and it's a fast-paced song. It's Running Wild are kind of the power metal thing, a little bit of the speed metal, but because a lot of their stuff is fast-paced as well. And I was never into power metal or that kind of stuff before. So that song got me interested in this band. I thought, who's Running Wild? Because I never knew about them back in the day. They weren't overly hugely well known in the UK back in the day. They were more bigger in mainland Europe, I think, massive in Germany. And obviously when I was growing up, I was really just into the kind of melodic hard rock, a little bit of the glam stuff, as in Poison, Motley Crue, the odd Dokken, Cinderella kind of bands like that. Europe, Def Leppard, Bon Jovi. those bands. That was kind of the Great White was another one back then. That was kind of the thing for me, and bands like Iron Maiden and Halloween, Accept, even because I thought Accept were kind of more thrash based back in the 80s for some reason. I don't know why. So, and you know, I wasn't into the actual thrash side of things. Bands like Metallica and Megadeth were coming up, and Slayer and Anthrax, and I just couldn't get into that, and I still can't get into that side of it today very well at all. I guess that's just one of these things, you know, not everything's for everyone, but as for the power metal side of things, this made me sit up, because I had just not that long beforehand gone back and listened to a couple of the Halloween songs off of Keepers of the Seven Keys Part 2. I Want Out was one of the big sort of singles at the time that they had out. And then I went back and listened to a bit more of that, and then, you know, obviously I came across this not too long after, and so I started investigating Running Wild. And the other song by them, one of the other songs by them I heard was on this album, which is The Rivalry, and the song The Ballad of William Kidd, which is kind of an epic 8-minute plus thing. It's almost 9 minutes long. A little bit slower paced than Conquistadors, and I loved that as well. I just love the style and the sound of Running Wild. So that opened the door to a bit more of the slightly heavier, faster paced tempo. And then there was a chap at my work who introduced me to the band Sabaton. He loaned me one of their albums on CD. And it was their debut. It was this one here, Primo Victoria. So this is kind of another one that got me into the big European power metal scene, if you like. Because I listened to it. It took me a few listens to decide if I kind of liked it, and I was kind of liking what I was hearing here as well. As I say, the thing about the power metal is some of the drums, because they have a lot of the double bass drums going, and obviously that's a feature of a lot of the power metal, and some of them can be just a bit too much, but for some reason there are some bands that seem to get it just right enough for me to be able to listen to it and enjoy the actual song, and this was one of these bands, and these guys were fresh to me as well, and so, you know, and there's some songs on here that kind of very a sort of a you know, it's about war. It's not, you know, a joyous theme exactly. So there's quite a lot of serious lyrics in some of the songs as well. But it was very enjoyable, and I thought they did the songs really well. And then they kind of do like a tribute to metal at the end of this. Metal Machine is how the album finishes. I mean, this has a bonus side C. But on the basic album it finishes with Metal Machine, which is just a tribute to other rock and metal of times gone by, and it's such a fun song. And so with that and Running Wild, it opened my mind up to more bands. And then when I joined the vinyl community, just, you know, a year and a few months back, that in itself further helped to open the mind up and expand. So there's quite a lot of the power metal scene I'm finding I'm liking now, which is great. Plus there's a lot more of just the general traditional hard rock and the new wave of traditional metal, new rock bands, new metal bands coming from Europe and America, and, you know, pretty much everywhere, to be honest. That band Armored Dawn from Brazil, even Finland, Greece, bands that I've picked up from these places recently, and further on, that kind of again made me dip my toes into the symphonic power metal, because I was a bit interested in bands like Nightwish and Sonata Arctica, Stratovarius, and Mr. Finglish kind of helped me out with introducing me to Sonata Arctica as well. And so then there was Avantasia as well. And when I sampled Avantasia, I thought, this is really impressive stuff, you know, because I kind of like a lot of the symphonic and epic and the classical influence and the orchestral set-up composition, you know, structure of songs. That was one of the things I always liked about Steve Clark. He had this classical structural way of building songs, which was kind of something that came through latterly on Hysteria, Pyromania, and then Hysteria Motion. But I digress. And so, you know, and so my rock and metal has opened wider than it ever was before. There are bands I listen to now that I would never have thought I'd ever liked. You know, even Iron Maiden, I thought were too heavy back in the day. And except, as I said earlier, I thought they were kind of thrashy, so I stayed away from them until I just happened upon one of their songs one day and discovered it was not in thrash. And there's bands like Mirath from Tunisia, their epic desert metal that they call it. And I'm just loving all these different styles and twists, and that's the thing about music. There's such an array of it, and it's so vast. So I hope that I should really shut up now, because I'm starting to babble and time's going round. But to basic answer to question 3 is it's these 2 albums, Ron and Wild's Port Royal and Sabaton's Primo Victoria, kind of helped to open my mind up further in the metal zone, if you like. So that's me done. There you go, Gus. Hope this is okay for you, and as I say, thanks again for having the contest, and congratulations on your channel, and keep up the good work, and have a nice trip when you go to San Francisco, and be sure to wear some flowers in your hair. Bye for now, everybody.